कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जयो राधा काला चंजी राधे। जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेवा जयो सुभद्रा मैया। নিতাই গৌর হরি বল, হরি বল, হরি বল, নিতাই গৌর হরি বল, হরি বল, নিতাই গৌর। জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ, 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 জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ। জয় জয় গুরুদেব, 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 জয় জয় গুরুদেব, জয় গুরুদেব। নিতাই গৌর প্রেমানন্দে। জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য, জয় নিত্যানন্দ, জয় অদ্বৈত চন্দ্র, জয় গৌর ভক্ত বৃন্দ। জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য, জয় নিত্যানন্দ, জয় অদ্বৈত চন্দ্র, জয় গৌর ভক্ত বৃন্দ। জয় জয় শ্রী চৈতন্য, জয় নিত্যানন্দ, জয় অদ্বৈত চন্দ্র, জয় গৌর ভক্ত বৃন্দ। श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की, कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, our dearmost Srila Prabhupada, and all the Guru Vargas, may I speak few words in the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none other than Sri Krishna himself, for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for my very own purification. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai. कथांचना स्मृते अस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत्, विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्री चैतन्य नमामितम्. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Adi 14.1. Hare Krishna. So we are in chapter Madhya 7, which is Lord's Store of South India, and verse 110. I'll recite the verses. This is Bengali, mostly. So little story behind that. Right now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to South India. And what we remember from the past class is now he is going and then he is embracing a lot of people and they were becoming Vaishnavas.
And they are becoming Vaishnavas, and they are going to their own villages, and they are turning them into Vaishnavas. So villages after villages were turning into Vaishnavism. And as Gokulananda Prabhu were mentioning how wonderful Mayapur, and we were discussing, and the other things, like, villages, that's how it were transforming. And today we will read more about it.
प्रभु के जे भजे तार तारे तार कृपा হয় সেই সে এসব লীলা সত্য করি লয়. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy. So, even we realize it, right? It will be explained even further that not everybody believes what is given in the scripture are true. I have my own auntie questioning me so many times, how can this happen? How can that happen? Sukadev Goswami came out so late, from the mother's womb, and so many things, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. And I went to, when this time Vrindavan during summer, we went to Terkadam. And there is a beautiful, wonderful sadhu there. And he is actually from Assam, a Bengali, something similar to mine. And then I asked him, he said this is a Terkadam, this is a Kadamba tree, but it also has a Pilu tree as well. And I don't know if we already read or maybe not, Pilu fruit, we get to know when Jagadananda Pandit comes to Vrindavan and he brings Pilu fruit. And there is a description that, some people could not eat it. They found it too sour, and some people, for them, it was sweet. The reason it was sour for them, because they ate it with the fruit, the seed with it. The seed was inside and they chew it. But it is something like plum, which you throw the seeds. So what that Maharaj was saying, that wonderful devotee was saying that, bhakti is also like that. To some it is beautiful. Those who believe that Krishna had so many cows and Krishna could lift Govardhan and Krishna could do all this, magical feats, wonderful things. For them bhakti is very sweet and nectarian. But those who think these are not possible and these are story only or mythology, for them bhakti is very bitter. Same like for the pilu fruits. They were sweet for some and bitter for some. And I was so amazed to hear this, So, straight from the Brajavasi Maharaj from Terkadam. So, you can keep it to your heart as well. You want me to reread the verse? Yeah. There was no purport. I was just telling a story of Terkadam from Vrindavan. Yeah. This verse doesn't have a purport. Many of them do not have purport. अलौकिक लीलाय जार ना होय বিশ্বাস এই ইহলোক পরলোক তারো হয় নাশ. Translation: If one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in this world and in the next. So the same thing. If someone does not believe in Krishna Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, or in general in the scriptures, what's given in the scripture, so he doesn't have, Nash is destroyed, he is finished, this life and the next. প্রথমে কহিল প্রভুর যেই রূপে গমন এই মতো জানিহ জগৎ যাবৎ দক্ষিণ ভ্রমণ. Whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for as long as the Lord toured South India. এই মতো যাইতে যাইতে গেলা কুর্মস্থানে কুর্ম দেখি কইল তারে স্তবন প্রণামে. Translation: When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the holy place known as Kurma Kshetra, he saw the deity and offered prayers and obeisances. Purport: Kurmasthan is a well-known place of pilgrimage. Jai Shri Radha Kalachandji. There is a temple there of Kurma Deva in the Prapannamrita, it is said that Lord Jagannath took Sri Ramanujacharya from Jagannath Puri and one night threw him to Kurmakshetra. Kurmakshetra is situated on the line of the Southern Railway in India. One has to go to the railway station known as Chikakola Road. From this station, one goes 8 miles to the east to reach the holy place known as Kurmachala. Those who speak the Telugu language consider this holy place very important. Basically, those from Andhra Pradesh, for them it is a very, very important place, pilgrimage. This statement is reported in the government gazette known as Ganjama Manual. There is a deity of Kurma there, and as mentioned above, Srila Ramanujacharya was thrown from Jagannath Puri to this place. At that time, he thought that the deity of Kurma was Lord Shiva's deity, therefore he was fasting there. Later, when he understood that the Kurma Murti was another form of Lord Vishnu, he instituted very gorgeous worship of Lord Kurma. This statement is found in the Prapannamrita, chapter 36. The holy place of Kurmakshetra or Kurmasthana was actually re-established by Sripad Ramanujacharya under the influence of Lord Jagannath Deva at Jagannath Puri. Later, the temple came under the jurisdiction of the king of Vijayanagara. The deity was worshipped by the Vaishnavas of the Madhavacharya Sampradaya. In the temple, there were some inscriptions said to be written by Sri Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhavacharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains those inscriptions as follows. Sri Purushottama Yati appeared as the instructor of many learned men. He was a very favorite devotee of Lord Vishnu. His preaching was accepted throughout the world with great respect, and by his power he liberated many non-devotees with strong reasons and logic. He initiated Ananda Tirtha and converted many foolish men to accept sannyasa and punished them with his rod. All his writings and words are very potent. He gave people devotional service to Lord Vishnu so they could be elevated to liberation in the spiritual world. His instructions in devotional service were able to elevate any man to the lotus feet of the Lord. Narahari Tirtha was also initiated by him and became the ruler of Kalinga province. Narahari Tirtha fought with the Savaras, who were Chandalas or hunters, and thus saved the temple of Kurma. Narahari Tirtha was a very religious and powerful king. He died in the Saka era 1203 in the month of Vaishak, in the fortnight of the moon's waxing period, on the day of Ekadashi, after the temple was constructed and dedicated to the holy name of Yogananda Narasimhadev. The tablet is dated 1281 AD, 29th March, Saturday. That's a lot of facts. While I was reading this verse and I was reading the purport, a life story of Ramanujacharya. Yeah. He doesn't say? It doesn't say? And dedicated to the holy name of Yogananda. Sorry? I think that and this one does not match.
It doesn't match. Yours says die, this one does not say die.
Maybe. This one? This one. Okay. Okay. So, if you are interested in the life story of Madhavacharya and Ramanujacharya on RJ Media, this is Radha Gopinath Media, those two movies are there. It's so wonderfully done that you will feel that you are watching a regular theatre movies. And it's in English,
and you can take the advantage of, and it's totally scripture based. And if you see it, for me at least, visual is much easier to remember than if I read it. And if you watch those movies, you can watch with your kids. I used to watch it all the time when we were in Nebraska with my son. And they get so much of knowledge and scripture, but it is enacted so well. And there are many others, in fact, from Vishwamitra. And you can go to RG Media and you can watch those movies. It's in English. So RG Media, R for Radha Gopinath Media. There will be many things, but you will find those. If you go to the playlist, you will find the movies, and in there you will find, and any age kids can watch. It's wonderfully enacted. On YouTube, RG Media, yeah. So you will know about, all acharyas. You have Haridas Thakur, all our Gauriya Vaishnavas, and there, the history, and it is wonderful. It's like 1.5 hour or so movie. There is Parshuram story, everything is there. Kids will love it, and even you will love it too. It's amazing entertainment and knowledge together. RG Media, Radha Gopinath. We'll continue, 114. Prema beshe hashi kandi nritto gito koilo dekhi sarbo loker chitte chamatkaro hoilo. While at this temple, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in his usual ecstasy of love of Godhead and was laughing, crying, dancing and chanting. Everyone who saw him was astonished. আশ্চর্য শুনিয়া লোক আইলো দেখিবারে প্রভুর রূপ প্রেমে দেখি প্রেম দেখি হইল চমৎকার. After hearing of these wonderful occurrences, everyone came to see him there. When they saw the beauty of the Lord and his ecstatic condition, they were all struck with wonder. দর্শনে বৈষ্ণব হইল বলে কৃষ্ণ হরি প্রেমাবেশে নাচে লোকে উদ্ধা বহু করি ঊর্ধ্ববাহু করি. ঊর্ধ্ববাহু is this, up, your arms are up. So everybody is, what are they saying? Darshane Vaishnava hoilo. Just by seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they became Vaishnav. And they started saying Hare Krishna, seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When the Bengal devotees were coming to Jagannath Puri time and again to see Mahaprabhu, and during Jagannath Rath Yatra, they will ask one question, time and again, and that is, who is a Vaishnav? He gave many answers, but the last answer is that whomever, by seeing, you feel like chanting Krishna's name, is a Vaishnav. And we see here, just by seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were saying Hare Krishna by Urdhavahu, by arms raised. The translation. Just by seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Krishna and Hari and all the holy names. They all were merged in a great ecstasy of love, and they began to dance, raising their arms. Krishna nama lok mukhe shuni obirama shei lok Vaishnav koilo anno shab grama. Always hearing them chant the holy names of the Lord Krishna, the residents of all the other villages also became Vaishnavas. So seeing the others also chanting, villages became Vaishnavas. এই মতো পরম্পরায় দেশ বৈষ্ণব হইল কৃষ্ণা নামামৃত বনায় দেশ ভাসাইল. By hearing the holy name of Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnava. It was as if the nectar of the holy name of Krishna overflooded the entire country. When Haridas Thakur, once we know that Lakshahira came to lure him, sent by the king, and then Haridas Thakur said, I will satisfy you. Let me complete the number of rounds I'm supposed to do. And then this 3 days passed, and finally she got converted. There is also when Maya Devi herself came, similarly, and started trying to lure Haridas Thakur. And when he heard Chaitanya Haridas Thakur chanting, she said a beautiful verse, I don't know if I can recollect it now. Krishna namu deho tumi more koro dhanno, amare bhashaya jaiche ei prema bonno. You give me Krishna name, you give me the holy name, and make me dhanno. Dhanno is a successful, auspicious, make me, satisfied. Dhanno means make me, like how we say, like human life fulfilled, like that, something like that, Krishna, amare bhashaya jache, the name of Krishna is taking me like a flood. It's, taking me into the water. So she said similar verse. So I just remembered that. So it's saying that by hearing the holy name of Krishna, the entire country became Vaishnava, and it was as if the nectar of the holy name of Krishna overflooded the entire country. So something similar. কতক্ষণে প্রভু যদি বাহ্য প্রকাশিলা কুর্মের সেবক বহু সম্মান করিলা. After some time, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his external consciousness, a priest of the Lord Kurma deity gave him various offerings. So once Mahaprabhu came back to his consciousness, external consciousness, he was given the offerings by the priest. We can pause here if there is any discussion. We started late today, so otherwise I will continue if there is no question or any discussion. You want me to continue? Yes, Prabhu. Yes. I've recently heard this question. I mean, the question is that, we hear that Mahaprabhu is right now in South India, right? So, and he is spreading, and we are hearing that village after village he transformed. Why do we not see that much of impact right now? That's or basically Srila Prabhupada, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he asked them, do you know how long you've been doing this for? And they said, no, we've been doing it for so many hundreds of years, so many generations.
Where?
There are still places where Lord Chaitanya passed through, where they still wake up the whole city and everybody does kirtan.
Yeah, Prabhu's question is particularly for south of India.
No,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, yeah.
That route. And he found villages that were still doing the same thing, getting up every day doing Harinam. So there is effect, we just haven't seen it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
We may not be everywhere, but we're still there. Lokanath Maharaj found it.
Okay. So what Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu is saying, that Lokanath Maharaj went through the routes where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went. Padayatra? Okay. By walk. And there are many villages who do, Mangalarti, etc. for years and generations. It's just that we are not aware of it. Gokulananda Prabhu, you had something to share? You said you have your own speculation, so would you like to share your speculation? Yeah, I have heard this question. Yeah. Right now also, I mean, in general, if you go, we do not see so much. Even Bengal also, if you go, you don't see so much. They worship Radha Krishna, of course, that's innate. But there is so many other worship also. Yeah. 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 Yes.
We see a little bit here and there, but we don't see as much, I'm just stressing on this, as much as what we see in
Bengal was under invasion. Bengal was like, around everything. And many Muslims and Yamanas and lectures were made. And many of them were converted. And many of them who were not converted, they were into Bengal worship, like Mother Kali worship. So this is my speculation. As we see, when Srila Prabhupada also came, he came to the West where there
More
was
marginal.
so much degradation. So this movement is predominantly, I'm not saying exclusive, predominantly for those who are most fallen. They get the mercy quickly first.
Yeah.
So in South India, there was not as much invasion.
Yes.
And because of that,
Same with Rajasthan also.
today they're still pious.
Yes. Yes, I agree to that completely. The consciousness that I feel even before Krishna's consciousness, yes, what Prabhu is saying, that it's a long statement. You want me to repeat it? Yeah, so please correct me if I'm going wrong. So that, Bengal and Orissa were more under the influence of the British Raj. So, and South is still comparatively pious. So that's why maybe more popular in the other parts than South India. And the question was itself why we don't see so much of influence in South. That's what the started, and that's what. Did I summarize, or you said something more to it? I just wanted to keep it short.
The bottom line is, this movement is predominantly for those who are
Most fallen.
people of Kali Yuga, like the land.
Yeah. And what is that song by Narottam Das Thakur? Patita Pavana Nam. Like, if you don't, lift me from here, then why is your name Patita Pavan? Because you are for the most fallen, and I'm the most fallen. And if you're not, uplifting me, then why are you called Patita Pavan? Then you're not Patita Pavan, because you're top. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So, yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
In Kali Yuga, everybody's born Shudra.
Yeah.
And even though, like in Navadvip, when Lord Chaitanya came, Advaitacharya was disappointed because even the so-called cultured, non-fallen people were all just total materialists. They would spend all their money on their weddings and all these mundane things. And so Lord Chaitanya came and traveled and established Krishna consciousness. And then when Prabhupada came, he went to so many cities all over India, and in a lot of the cities, Prabhupada told the devotees, why don't you stay here and open a center? So things go through time goes through eras,
Yes. And I'm.
Certain, like the Mughals came and then the British came. So obviously there's so much Kali Yuga influence from the leaders of society that come into the different world. So Prabhupada wanted all of us to take the responsibility to go to these places and to, spread Krishna consciousness. He, at one point, there was some letter from somebody in Sri Lanka. So he asked one of the devotees to go to Sri Lanka, and he said, well, it's such a small place. There's not that many people there. Maybe we can do a few programs. Prabhupada said, everybody in Sri Lanka is Krishna conscious? Prabhupada challenged him, what are you talking about? They're not devotees, everybody there. So in Kali Yuga, the process of becoming Krishna conscious is to spread Krishna consciousness. That's our process.
Okay.
So Lord Chaitanya set it as an example so that we can try and get inspired, so that we can also try and follow Prabhupada's footsteps. He's right, everything's messed up. But even the so-called cultured people, maybe the Vishnu Bhaktas in South India are pious, and still, they're all devotees, and in Gujarat there's so many Krishna devotees there. There's obviously tons of lots and lots of piety in India, but still, all those people need to be connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our understanding of Radha and Krishna worship is that we can't worship them directly, we have to worship Gornitai first. So it's our responsibility to preach.
Yes. So what Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu is saying, that everyone is Shudra in the Kali Yuga, and wherever we see it's not enough, we can take the responsibility. Or at least I was thinking, at least we can pray for those places for Krishna consciousness to be spread out as much as possible. And Prabhu was saying that, as we cannot directly worship Radha Krishna. We are not qualified, so we can take the mercy of Gaur Nitai and move ahead in the parampara. Did I say it right, Prabhu? Sorry, you said a lot of nectarian points, but...
So, I mean, once you're trying to make a statement that everybody born in India should take up the process of preaching.
Janmo sarthak kori koro poro.
So, we have that responsibility. While we're young, especially when we have energy, look what Prabhupada did at 70. He would go to Gujarat and different places in the south also, and they would have thousands of people greet Prabhupada and the devotees. They would have big flowers, they'd offer hundreds of garlands to them. There's so much devotion and piety there, and the devotees from these pious places have more Shakti. They have more piety, but that piety has to be used to preach, not just to enjoy oneself, not to just enjoy the piety, but to actually utilize the piety to preach, utilize the qualification to preach. That's our actual responsibility. We have to push ourselves to preach.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how are we going to help other people? The highest welfare work is to help others to
Others
be conscious. So we have to be proactive and try to push ourselves,
Can I just add one point in between? As Prabhu was also mentioning, Prabhu is mainly what he is saying. It's wonderful if you're pious and use that piety in preaching Krishna consciousness. Then only, like as Mahaprabhu said, Janmo sarthak kori koro poro upakar. You're pious, you're nice, you're wonderful. Now make others also pious, make others Krishna conscious. But also, like as you were saying, that we don't see so much of, like in the south, it is said so much here. But every time there is a decline, right? There's always a decline. Even from Krishna, there was a decline. Vajranava, he has to re-establish everything. And then again, there was a decline. And the Sad Goswamis were given the responsibility. Again, there was a decline. If you read Lilamrit in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada is saying the state of Vrindavan, to the state of Vrindavan, I'm not talking about the commercial upliftment and etc. But the, consciousness, the people coming, are way different than after Srila Prabhupada's introduction. Of course, there are other sampradayas and other wonderful Vaishnavas, but what Srila Prabhupada did to not just he did to the Western culture, but what he did to Vrindavan is also amazing. He opened Vrindavan for everybody. So again, there will be a decline. Time and again, there will be, especially when an Acharya leaves the body, there is always a decline. So that phase will come, and again it's the responsibility of the followers to bring it back and bring it back. So that's what I was thinking. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
That's the point I was saying actually. When I try to think, like during that particular period, before ISKCON was established,
Yeah.
between Lord Chaitanya and the descendants and ISKCON, 400 or 500 years back. So, as we all know, the biggest deterrent factor, in accepting Krishna consciousness is when we think that I know, and in India especially, so I
Yes, that's, yes.
I've seen. In South India, most of the people they are biased and they think they know. Whenever you tell them about we know already Krishna. So that shuts down.
Yeah.
That creates a curtain between mercy. So that could have been one of the major factors, why we see that much. But as you said, everything starts beginning.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we see that after the foreign invasions, when I went like in 2005, 2010, during my visit to South India, I saw there were massive conversions.
South especially.
Right from Andhra to the tip of.
Especially the villages.
So now there is degradation, now they are ready. And that's how we see Srila Prabhupada's movement is spreading like wildfire.
Yes, yes, yes. So, yeah, Prabhu is talking, he is saying that he is confirming my speculation that, whenever there is a decrease, there is not speculation, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says, whenever there is a decrease, there is again Krishna, some form or the other, whether in the movement, in the form of Sankirtan or book distribution, Brihad Madanga, Acharya like Srila Prabhupada will appear again and re-establish, and it will go, because the nature of material world is to go down. Everything in this material world has to go down, and that's why it's called material and not spiritual. It's just the opposite of spiritual world. So it will again go down, and again somebody has to take the responsibility, hold the rein and run it again. So, does it make sense? Yes?
Thank you so much for your association. I just wanted to end with one thing that I wanted to mention. Sometimes I was wondering in the beginning, we know about the story of Chaitanya Charitamrita being printed. It's actually 8:35. If you want to go for breakfast, I don't want you to stop from there. I just wanted to add this point that Chaitanya Charitamrita, I know so many people, even the Bengalis, they'll say, oh, I don't dare to touch Chaitanya Charitamrita. If we have not started reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are missing the biggest sweet in the entire creation. It's the best thing Prabhupada gave us of course he gave us everything, that he gave us his best, but Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that's why we see he paused Srimad Bhagavatam. Nowhere I'm saying Srimad Bhagavatam is any less, but Chaitanya Charitamrita is different. So you have this South Indian thali, you have all the things, and there is a sweet. Until you eat the sweet, the thali is incomplete. So until we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, I feel, for me at least, the bhakti is incomplete. Chaitanya Charitamrita is such a nectar for anybody. Anyone can relish it. So please, honor this wonderful, wonderful gift that Srila Prabhupada has given us at his very ripened age with so much of difficulty. With that, I will pause here for today. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhe vacha patita nam pavnevyo vaishnavevyo namo nama Chaitanya Charitamrita ki. Srila Prabhupada ki.